fans, welcome inside our FanDuel studios here in Los Angeles. It's week 6. We're here to bet it. You're watching FanDuel Sportsbook's More Ways to Win. I'm Lisa Kerney alongside the best betting experts in the business, Dave Weaver, Ed Egros. Guys, we're breaking down the biggest games of the week. We're handing out best bets and giving you best value DFS plays as well. Yes, it is go time, so make sure you download the FanDuel Sportsbook app right now. Sign up for your new account. Make sure you plug in the promo code MOREWAYS1000 to get your risk-free bet up to $1,000. All right, time to kick this thing off with the undefeated Cardinals at the 3-2 Browns. Guys, the Cardinals are 5-0 for the first time since 1974. They're outscoring opponents by more than 12 points per game. It's the second best point differential in the league right now. Now, as for the Browns, they've been leaning heavily on their running back, Nick Chubb. He's second in the league in rushing, has 5 carries of at least 20 yards at his most in the NFL. Cleveland, a 3-point home favorite here. Dave, you are alongside Andrew Filipponi, sports radio host from Pittsburgh. You guys are going to bet this game. And Dave, I'm coming right to you first. What you got?
Well, remember, the Cardinals' season-long win total was 8.5. So they're already 5-0. They're going to lose this game, by the way. But when they're 5-1 after this game, they should be doing backflips, being so excited about where they're at. Look, they've had back-to-back division games, and now they're going to Cleveland, who is going to run it down their throat. Not only is Chubb second, Kareem Hunt is 14th in the league as a backup running back. I mean, that 1-2 punch is incredible. The last 4 weeks, the Cardinals have given up 152 rushing yards a game. I mean, I just don't see, Pony, how they're going to be able to stop this running game from the Browns.
Well, you know, real estate's location, 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 and I think that's what this game really boils down to. Where's the game being played? It's in Cleveland. And for the Browns, that's paramount because when they've lost, it's been in places like Kansas City and Los Angeles this year. I think this location, the dog pound behind Baker Mayfield, is going to prop them up. And I think that's enough to get the Browns the win and the cover on Sunday.
There it is, Browns giving 3. Thank you, Pony. Time now to take our research to the next level here. For that, we turn to Next Gen Stats for analytical perspective on this matchup. The NFL analyzes the location, speed, and acceleration of every player on every play and then creates these various data sets that we get to tap into. So, Ed, you're an analytics guy. Give us a stat that you're using from that next level data set that's going to help us bet this Cardinals-Browns game.
Let's talk about last week. And we had been waiting for some time for DeAndre Hopkins to become wide receiver 1 again since that week 1 performance. And we got it last week against the Niners. Here's his route chart with most of his success happening outside the numbers. His catch rate over expected was an impressive 18.3%, in part because a handful of his 6 receptions were deep. His air yards per target was 16 yards. And again, he was the primary target, accounting for 74.3% of the Cardinals' air yard share. Even if Hopkins has a quiet day, Arizona has other weapons who can step up here. So I'm going to take Arizona to cover.
There you go. Arizona likes to hear that. Awesome. Next level info from this Next Gen Stats. If you want to tail Ed, go ahead and take the Cardinals. Getting those points, a winning $50 bet, means you will collect more than $92. And a reminder, you can make your first bet on the app risk-free. Just sign up for a new FanDuel Sportsbook account using the promo code MOREWAYS1000. You are going to get a risk-free bet up to $1,000. Again, that promo code, it'll be right there on your screen all show long. More Ways 1000. Let's turn our attention now to the Los Angeles Chargers heading east to take on the Ravens in a matchup between 2 4-1 teams, 2 teams that look very good and are led by their quarterbacks. For the Chargers, Justin Herbert coming off a career-high 398 yards passing against Cleveland. Also tied a career high with 4 touchdowns in that game as well. And then you got Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson coming off an incredible comeback performance. He's 5th in the league in passing yardage, ranks 8th in rushing yards. 8th! I am so excited for this game. The Ravens are giving 3. Pony, reeling you back in here. Where's your money on this matchup?
I'm going to go with Baltimore. You know, things have gone outside of Lamar Jackson's breakthrough as a passer. So many things have gone against them. Running back injuries in the preseason. Their offensive line has struggled. Their defense, frankly, doesn't look right for me. And yet here they are at 4-1. The last time we saw the Chargers come east, Dave, they were very lucky to win against Washington. And we know the football team isn't on the same level as Baltimore. They don't have a quarterback like Lamar Jackson. So for those reasons, I'm going to take the Ravens to cover.
Let's just get this out of the way right off the top. Carson Wentz, whose previous high passing this year was 251 yards, hung up 402 yards against the Ravens secondary last week. I mean, what is Justin Herbert going to do? Throw for 600 yards? I mean, Carson Wentz getting 400, that is not a good thing. Baltimore has absolutely zero running game right now. All their best running backs got hurt before the season started. They're running on fumes there. Look, Lamar just cannot do everything himself. He got away with it last week against this very, very good, talented Chargers team. I don't think he's going to be able to put the team on his back and carry them like he did 2 consecutive weeks. I'm going to go with the Chargers.
We'll have to see whose performance shines through the most. Thank you, guys. And hey, if you like Lamar Jackson and the Ravens giving those points, you got to do you. Bet with your heart here if you need to. Winning $50 bet means you're going to collect more than $93. Time now for our DFS download. And, of course, that means a chance to win millions in prizes for free. Yes, FanDuel is hooking it up for you for free. Just head to FanDuel.com, sign up for the weekly free DFS contest, and play free each and every week. Just sign up, set your roster, play, and win. And, of course, our job here on More Ways to Win is to help you score those points. So FanDuel Editor-in-Chief JJ Zacharyson is here coming in hot with his best values for Week 6. Hey, JJ.
Hey, Lisa, the first value this week, he's only $5,200. I like Darrell Williams for the Kansas City Chiefs. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has an MCL sprain. He's going to be out a few weeks. Now, we shouldn't expect Darrell Williams to step in and be a workhorse in this backfield, but he's likely going to be the 1A in this offense. Last week, he saw more work on the ground than backup Jerick McKinnon, and he out-targeted McKinnon 5-2. This week, the Chiefs get Washington, and they have the highest implied team total on this slate by far. So with Williams, you're getting a relevant piece in this offense who could see some goal line work in the offense. He's only $5,200, making him a really good value. Next, there's Michael Pittman. Pittman finally found the end zone in Week 5 after seeing tons of volume through the air over the first 4 weeks of the season. Pittman now has seen at least a 20% target share in each of his last 4 games. He's only one of 10 wide receivers with a share that high over the last 4 weeks. Against Houston, Pittman should pay off this $5,800 price tag. And then finally, I like DeAndre Swift at $7,100. Only Najee Harris and Alvin Kamara have a higher target share this season than DeAndre Swift does. And that could come in handy against Cincinnati because this season, the Bengals are allowing the highest target share per game to the running back position. And that's even the case when you adjust for strength of opponent. So DeAndre Swift at $7,100, I think he's a pretty nice value.
Well done. There you have it. Go to FanDuel.com, sign up for free DFS competitions right now, and of course, each week of the NFL season. Go ahead and use JJ's info for a chance to win millions in prizes. Of course, follow our guru at Late Round QB on Twitter and Insta. Hit up his podcast as well, the Late Round Podcast on Apple Podcasts. Back to our game previews now, and the 4-1 Cowboys are in New England. Dallas has won 4 in a row. In those games, guys, the Cowboys led the NFL in rushing yards with more than 800. They're second in yards per rush at 5.5. And you look at the other side, the Patriots snapped their 2-game losing streak with a win over the Texans last week, scoring those final 16 points of the game, including a game-winning field goal with 15 seconds to go. The Cowboys, a 3.5-point road favorite. Ed, turning to you here. Who are you backing here?
Well, one of the things that we've talked about for the Cowboys for a long time is the reason why they haven't been championship contenders is the defense, right? Well, now the defense looks pretty legitimate. And now they're getting another good opportunity to take down, say, a rookie quarterback. And this is what's great about the Cowboys here. It's what they do vis-a-vis the blitz. Quarterback pressure rate on blitzes is 41.3%. 22.7% when not blitzing. That difference is the second best in football. When you look at the Patriots defense, their pressure when blitzing is 18.9%, but more than 26% when non-blitzing. And so the Patriots actually get worse when they send that extra rusher. And so Cowboys are great with blitzing. The offense is absolutely stout with Dak Prescott. They are better in all 3 phases. So to me, that's an easy Cowboys cover.
Well, I think
Dan Quinn comes in, and the Cowboys are lucky to get him. He has turned this defense around, and they are pointed in the right direction. Great points. I just wanted to add that as I turn it over to you.
They're doing great, and people are just going to think they're going to roll into New England and continue this. But I think both offensively and defensively, this is a team that thrives. They're so fast on turf and indoors and in domes. But when you take them outside, the last 10 games they played outdoors, They won once, and that was against Cincinnati late last year that had 2 wins and also didn't have Joe Burrow. So they beat Brandon Allen and the Bengals last year. That's their only win in the last 10 games outdoors. You take them in its environment, on the grass, outdoors in New England, I don't think it's going to be the same result. I think this is an upset alert here with the Patriots.
All right. Thank you, Dave. Time now to get to prime time, and we're starting with Sunday Night Football and digging right in. Seattle is in Pittsburgh, both teams 2-3. Steelers rookie running back Najee Harris had his first 100-yard rushing game last week, finished with 122 yards and a touchdown in that win against Denver. But Pittsburgh did lose Juju Smith-Schuster to a dislocated shoulder. He's undergoing surgery, expected to miss the rest of the season. Injuries for the Seahawks as well, and a big one. Quarterback Russell Wilson underwent surgery on the middle finger of his throwing hand, meaning his 149 consecutive game streak will end. He's likely out at least 4 weeks. Geno Smith will be under center. The Steelers are giving 4.5 points. Ed, who do you have in this Sunday night matchup?
The most important injury when analyzing this game is what's going on with Seattle's quarterback. So let's diagnose Geno Smith and actually figure out what we're dealing with here. When you look at his EPA in terms of different parts of the field, on short throws, which is from 0 to 9 yards, his total EPA is 6.2. Now, keep in mind, this is a super small sample size. He only played in part of that Thursday night game. On quick throws, total EPA 5.1. That's less than 2.5 seconds, which is not too shabby. Whenever Geno Smith did not feel any pressure, meaning that there wasn't a rusher within 2 yards of him, his total EPA was 6.7. These are all decent numbers. They're not outstanding, but it does point to the game plan that Seattle will employ here, and that is super short, super quick throws. And for that reason, I feel like that Seattle can at least keep this close and cover the 4.5. Pony.
Well, the last time Geno Smith started a game in the NFL, Edward, his coach got fired. That was in New York. It was such a controversial move to go to Geno Smith over Eli Manning. The guy is a journeyman quarterback for a reason. And for the Steelers, TJ Watt's 100% healthy now. That defense rebounded against Denver and played an excellent game for about 2.5 quarters last week. And so there's no way, with the stakes here, with all that's on the line for the Steelers trying to get back to 500, I can't bet Geno Smith. The number's not big enough. Give me the Steelers minus 4.5.
All right, guys, now moving on to the Monday night matchup. The Bills travel to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Buffalo had a statement win last week, beating the Chiefs at Arrowhead 38-21. The 4th straight week, the #1 scoring offense in the league has scored more than 30 points. They are on fire, you guys. For the Titans, no surprise, workhorse running back Derrick Henry leads the league in rushing, but the next closest back trails him by more than 115 yards. Guys, the Titans are 5.5-point home underdogs. Pony, coming right back to you. Who do you have here?
Remember the last time we saw the Bills and Titans? Didn't Derrick Henry steal a man's soul against the Bills? He took Josh Norman out of commission with that stiff arm. It was incredible. I think it's too many points here. The Bills have been excellent, but it's on the road. Can you slow down Derrick Henry? And not only that, we're starting to see the Titans get their weapons back healthy. A.J. Brown last week. I just think Buffalo, there's so much of a recency bias, Dave, because what they did in Kansas City. I think this is going to be the game of the year for the Titans. They might win this one outright.
They haven't been this big of a home dog since Andrew Luck was still playing for the Colts back in 2018. You never see them getting 5.5 at home. This is absolutely a mirror of what happened last year. Buffalo was on a 4-game winning streak, head into Tennessee, and you're right about that. Henry went for 2 touchdowns. Tannehill went for 3 and another on the ground. 42-16 Tennessee. I see this maybe happening again. And here's the other big factor. Is there a chance that Buffalo pushed all their chips in last week against Kansas City and left their game on the field there and could come up empty in this game? Another reason why I like the Titans.
Love the numbers, love the context. You know I'm here for it. Now I just need more. Let's dip back in on those next-gen stats. And Ed, you used these next-gen stats to pick the Cardinals-Browns game earlier in the show today. Now I want you to dip back into that bag and give us 3 bets that you think are good value right now on the FanDuel Sportsbook.
It's not the high-profile games we're always looking for. It's the ones where we can find the most value. And Miami-Jacksonville is one of those. Dolphins are off to a 1-4 start. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa coming off IR, but will it be enough to salvage the season? Well, look at his quarterback grid from what little he's played so far. not encouraging. You see a lot of red signifying his passer rating to those parts of the field below league average. It's led to a completion percentage over expected of negative 7.6%. The game plan for him is straightforward. Get rid of the ball quickly. More than 54% of his throws take less than 2.5 seconds from the snap. The routes thrown to are largely in the flat or they are slant routes, and those are some of the higher rates among starting QBs. Their opponent in the Jaguars, they play about as much base defense as anyone, so that personnel issue could be a concern, and it could be a great matchup for Jacksonville, so I have the Jags covering. Next, Vikings running back Dalvin Cook missed another game, so Alexander Mattison came on in Week 5. His box score numbers were humongous, but if you look at his carry chart, his next-gen stats, they were a little more muted. He was used a lot, but notice the number of yellow lines signifying short games. His rushing yards over expected was only 12, not a large number, but not a bad one either. From this chart, you can see that a lot of those runs were to the right side, 72% of the strong side to be more precise. Credit the big guys in front of him for that. Madison spent on average 3.02 seconds behind the line of scrimmage. Good small numbers showing once he got the rock, he was ready to roll. Vikings run game, yeah, it's solid, but there is room for improvement, and the challenge is real against a tough Carolina front, so I'm leaning Panthers there. Finally, Detroit is winless so far. Jared Goff has had a lot of mediocre performances, but Sunday, that was a clunker. Here's his pass chart from Week 5 against the Vikings. So far, Minnesota isn't even the toughest pass defense the Lions have faced, but it was stout enough to help Goff to a completion percentage over expected of negative 1.2%. Goff largely kept his throws short. Average depth of target was only 6.7 yards. That's one of the shallower marks of any starter this season. He only threw deep or beyond 20 yards 5.7% of the time. What's interesting is in LA, Goff was a play-action machine. Now the Lions run play-action just 19% of the time, one of the lower marks in football. Unless the infrastructure improves, Detroit is not keeping up in a track meet against the surging Bengals, so I'm taking Cincinnati to cover. And it's one of my favorite bets of the week.
Oh, well played. That's a mess there in Detroit. Thank you, Ed. Awesome stuff there. Take that info, use it to place your bets right now on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. You can place a wager on the bets we just talked about or hundreds of others. They are available right now. It's the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Let's move on here in time to speed things up and hit our betting markets with some quick picks here. We're shouting out your local teams as we rip through the rest of the Week 6 slate here. Guys, I give you the game. You have 10 seconds to give me your pick. Let's roll. Dave, Denver hosting the Raiders in an AFC West showdown. Obviously, news this week, John Gruden stepping down as Raiders head coach. That continues to play out. Both teams here 3-2. Broncos are giving 3.5. How do you play it?
I think the coaching change actually helps the Raiders in this game, but I don't think they're good enough to beat the Broncos. We've seen that the Raiders just cannot defend these teams that have a pass rush like the Bears and the Chargers the last 2 weeks. I think Denver gets to Derek Carr enough. 27-17 Broncos.
All right, Ed. Washington hosting the Chiefs, both teams 2 and 3. Washington getting 6.5 at home.
Did I sense a little bitterness there?
I can't even get it out of my mouth.
Well, here's the deal. Washington's defensive success rate ranks 18th out of 32 NFL teams. You'd expect it to be a lot better by this point. And this defense is having trouble getting secondary sacks. And now they're getting Pat Mahomes and company, and they're a little ticked off. KC covers big time.
Let's get to you, Pony. 4-1 Green Bay at 3-2 Chicago Bears getting 4.5.
I think there's a lot of value in the Bears because it's hard to set a line right now on Justin Fields. He makes that Bears offensive line better, and their defense is rounding into form. I'm going to take Chicago.
All right, Dave, 1-4 Giants getting 9.5 points at home against the 4-1 Rams. It's the biggest spread of the week. What you think?
Well, the Giants obviously have some major injury problems on offense, but there are some teams like the Rams that just don't get up for these bad teams. Last year, they lost at home to the Jets as a 17.5-point favorite, and they didn't cover against the Giants as a big favorite last year either. So I say the Rams come a little bit flat and do not cover. I'll take New York.
It's a big line. All right. And the Giants are home this week, as I mentioned, which means the party returns to New Jersey, and the FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands is the place to be. The FanDuel Sportsbook open 7 days a week. Come Come watch, wager, and win with your favorite teams and players. Cheer them on right there at the Sportsbook, located right across the parking lot from MetLife Stadium. And it is so easy to get there on game day. Just hop the free round-trip shuttle from Lot G. Hey, if you don't have a parking pass, it's all good, too. We've got your back. Head to Red's Restaurant in Carlstadt. Catch the $10 shuttle to MetLife. Then head to Lot G for that free ride to the FanDuel Sportsbook. Mass transit, of course, available as well. Sunday is going to be absolutely hopping, and a heads up to mark your calendars as well and get to the FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands for the 2021 Breeders' Crown taking place here at the Meadowlands Racetrack on October 29th and 30th. Get your friends, come out for an awesome time at the Meadowlands and the FanDuel Sportsbook and wager, win, and have fun with us there at the Meadowlands. We move from ponies to dogs, and time to give some underdogs a little love here. Cole Wright is off this week, but he's hit his last 6 moneyline picks. Those upset picks, he's 6 for 6 in the last 4 weeks. Got the Eagles over the Panthers last week. So, guys, I'm just going to say this now. Big shoes to fill here. Give me one moneyline money maker for week 6. Dave, I'm going to come to you first. What you got?
Well, I'm going to go with the Patriots. I just think the Cowboys are a completely different team. Outdoors versus indoors is an outdoor game, an environment that will be hostile. So give me the Patriots to upset the Cowboys.
I am taking Las Vegas to upset Denver. There have been a number of situations where we've seen teams deal with a lot of adversity, overcome those challenges, and then look absolutely fantastic and come out with an upset win. And I think, given what Derek Carr has shown throughout his entire pro career and the remaining leadership with Las Vegas, I trust this group to knock off Denver.
Yeah, I'm going to go big or go home here. Sorry, Lisa. I'm going to take Washington at home against Kansas City. The Chiefs remind me of like a former heavyweight champion boxer that almost like needs to get to the end of a round here or something. They need a bye week, something to kind of get them back recalibrated. I just don't get it with them. The turnovers on offense, the defense has been abysmal. And I think Heineke's actually okay, up and down. He might get hot this game. Give me Washington. Big money line play.
You know, Pony, I'm not even mad about that, to be completely honest with you. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he just went on IR as well, so now they're without him. A little bit of a mess in Kansas City. Maybe they can go on the road and fix this. I don't know. But go ahead and tail those upset picks. Or, hey, make any other bet on the FanDuel Sportsbook app right now, risk-free, up to $1,000. All you got to do is sign up for a FanDuel Sportsbook account. New users get a risk-free bet up to $1,000 just by using the promo code right there on your screen. More ways, 1,000, and it gets better. Our experts are giving you their risk-free bet of the week. So let's give some props to Dave here. Dave, you hit your 4-team parlay last week, a $1,000 risk-free bet, collected $5,150. Pony, virtual fist bump to you too, by the way. You parlayed the Bucks -10 and the over. Your $1,000 risk-free bet paid out more than $3,500. If I had, if I was back there and could make graphics and stuff and put some music to it, I would. But anyway, let's do it again for week 6. Dave, you're up first. Give us something that's going to hit.
Yeah, I mean, I know these weekly winning parlays are really boring, Pony, but I'm going to give you another one here, Pony. I'm going to go $1,000 parlay. Patriots on the money line, the Broncos on the money line as a favorite, and then the over in the Browns and the Cardinals. Reminiscent of last week, the Browns are going to open up a huge lead like they did against the Chargers, except they didn't hold on. They'll hold on this week, but Arizona will get their share of points as well. So 3-team parlay gets me back almost $7,000.
The weather
is I'm going to stick with this. Oh, go ahead, Dad.
No, the weather's getting a little cooler here, and, you know, the one way that I like to warm up the best is with a same-game parlay. So that's what I'm going to do here. In the Cowboys-Patriots game, away team total over 26.5 points. I think Dak Prescott runs away with it. Alternate total for the game under 55.5 points. And so I'm expecting a blowout here with Dak scoring a lot of points. $1,000 gets me a total of $44.60
onto something. I'm happy I didn't end up interrupting you, Ed, because I'm feeling the same game parlay too after last week. Stay with the formula that won me some big money. I like Minnesota -1 at Carolina, and I like the game to go under. Look, both teams are in a similar situation. They're both dealing with running back injuries, McCaffrey and Cook. But Minnesota beat Detroit last week, and Carolina lost to Philly at home. I don't think they deserve to have such a small spread in this spot. So give me that parlay. You're going to collect more than $3,000 on it too.
I don't think Ed's done one of these that he hasn't used an alternate spread or an alternate total or alternate something. Gamblers, go ahead and do your thing. Make sure to sign up for a FanDuel Sportsbook account right now to place your bet. Remember, promo code again, MoreWays1000 to get your risk-free bet up to $1,000. It's easy, it's legal, and it is live. You just take your winnings if you hit and get your money back if you don't, so you can just play again. All right, not just football on this show. We're bringing you news from the track as well. The Breeders' Cup World Championships returns in November to where the turf meets the surf in Del Mar, California. The world's best thoroughbred racehorses will compete for championship honors and more than $31 million in prize money. It's all happening Friday, November 5th and Saturday, November 6th. Tickets available at breederscup.com right now. And for those of you who can't make it to the track, you can watch all 14 championship races on NBC Sports or TVG. Now, TVG, not only your place to bet the Breeders' Cup, but you can bet every race, every day, right now by downloading the TVG mobile app. Let's check out some fun futures bets before we go here and start with who will win the MVP. And after last week, guys, here it is. Bills quarterback Josh Allen now the favorite at plus 450, followed by Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, and Justin Herbert tied there for the third shortest odds. Let's get all your MVP picks here. Dave, you're going to start us off. Who do you think?
Am I saying that right? Patrick Mahomes, 15-1. He leads the league in touchdowns with 16. When he goes to Washington and thrashes that defense with 5 touchdowns and he has 21, he'll be half of these odds next week. That's a crazy price.
The GOAT is 5th at plus 800. The GOAT has value here. When are we ever going to say this again? The Buccaneers are 4th in point differential among all teams in the NFL, but Brady is 5th. The schedule is going to get a lot easier for Tampa Bay, and that value is going to dissipate. Grab it now.
Josh Allen, he was a high riser after the Bills beat Kansas City in prime time. Everybody jumped on that bandwagon. I think the same thing can happen if Tennessee beats Buffalo. Derrick Henry's, I think, 80-1 right now. It's incredible odds. If they win that game, you're going to see the Titan star running back shoot up, and I think they will upset Buffalo.
I think you can see that happening, no doubt about it. Great stuff, you guys. Let's do the same drill with your Super Bowl picks. Buffalo, same story, now followed by Tampa Bay and the Chiefs. Dave, who do you like to win it all?
You know, I'm going to stick with the team that I had before the season started because I think the Rams really aren't getting much respect here and still offer good value. I think they were somewhere around 16-1 when the season started. I think the price they're at right now is still worth a bet.
Right city, wrong team, Dave. I'm going with the LA Chargers at 17-1. You think about point differential where they are here, but also they're leading a really tough division. So all of a sudden they make a run. Chargers lose that value. Take it now.
Well, I'm still wondering how the only undefeated team in the NFL is so low on the list. All the Cardinals have done is won. Kyler Murray's looked fantastic. They've got J.J. Watt now on defense, and yet they're still 13-1 to win the Super Bowl. I think there's a ton of value there in the 5-0 Cardinals.
Can you imagine the Chargers-Rams here at SoFi
Wow.
in L.A.? Great stuff, guys. What a show. What a show. From game picks to best bets to DFS, we absolutely covered it all. We do it every single week. Week 6, check done. You can bet it right now. Check out all the bets we talked about on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. New users, welcome to the fam. Welcome to the party. Sign up for your new account and use that promo code. We talked about it all show long. MoreWays1000. You're going to get a risk-free bet up to $1,000. And I just got to say, from all of us here at FanDuel, thank you for hanging with us today. We're going to see you right back here next week. Enjoy the games and good luck with your bets.
After an unprecedented year apart, the time has finally come to say, welcome back to the prestige and excitement of witnessing history firsthand. This November, beautiful Del Mar will welcome back the world's best thoroughbreds, the brightest stars and most passionate fans to the Breeders' Cup. One experience that's a breed apart. Tickets on sale now at breederscup.com.